Amanda is my brother's girlfriend. At the time of this story, she was looking for her first apartment and moving out from her parents' house. Her and my brother didn't want to move in together since they had only been dating for a few months at this point. She opted instead to search for a roommate online, browsing Craigslist. She found an ad titled something like "Roommate Wanted, Females Only." This thing was sort of common in the area that we were living in because it was mostly young professionals living in the area. The listing was for a room in a house for about $225 a month, which was quite cheap. The occupant listed herself as a 23-year-old college student that wasn't comfortable living with any males. The other roommate would have their own room and attached bathroom. So far, Amanda was into the place. However, the listing only had a single photo from outside the property. Amanda sent an email wanting to meet the occupants and tour the house. Within 30 minutes, she received an email back with all the details and times to stop by. The girl worked late hours and wanted Amanda to stop by around 8 p.m. When Amanda arrived, there is a written note on the front door saying, "The door is broken. Use back door." Walking around the house, it looks nice, but slightly unkempt. Tall grass, weeds, dusty windows, etc. Still, no alarm for Amanda though. When she knocks on the back door, an older man opens the door. At first, Amanda thinks she has the wrong house, but the man reassures her and says the occupant was out and he was the landlord. The occupant asked him to meet Amanda since she was working late. He seemed pleasant and offered to show her around. Alarms start going off, but they're not in red alert yet. First, the guy was clearly in his 40s, unshaven, and looked like he was living in his car. Also, the only kitchen light was on. As they walked around the house, Amanda noticed one huge red flag. No furniture, nothing. The landlord was polite about answering questions, but seemed irritable to keeping lights on for too long. Rushing her around and only letting her look at rooms for a few moments. There was a single room that the landlord wouldn't open, telling her that it was the occupant's room and he didn't want to invade her privacy. As they walked down the hallway into the living room, she notices the front door has a plank nailed across it. Broken for sure. Amanda's creep meter's starting to ding for sure, so she decides to wrap up the walkthrough and leave. But she's doing her best to be polite. She's trying to give the guy her "thanks for the showing" bit. He perks up and states that he forgot to show her the basement. It's recently furnished and would be a great rec room, and she would take a look down there. At the time, Amanda and the landlord are standing in the small hallway between the front living room and the back kitchen. In this little hallway was the basement door. When he opens the door, it opens outward to create something of a barrier between Amanda and the back door. The basement is pitch black. He smiles, motions down the stairs and says, "Ladies first." What happens next is nothing more than a stroke of luck. Amanda gets a text just as some random person is parking in front of the house. Thinking on her feet, she pretends it's a phone call and answers her phone. "Hey, yeah, are you here? I'll come out from around back and let you in. It's great, you have to see it." With a motion of confidence, she excuses herself around the landlord and walks out the back door. She says the guy just looked at her like he was confused. Once outside, she sprinted to her car and sped like hell out of there. When Amanda got home, she told her mother and my brother everything. Cops were called. They took her statements and went to investigate. The post had been removed,